This is Max Williams with United Real Estate, and today I'm in Chesterfield County. Of course, today it looks a little bit different because you see a handsome gentleman there in the frame instead of a beautiful home. And what I wanted to do was to do a short interview with a home inspector. Home inspections, as you know, are very, very important, and we are currently at an inspection. And I grabbed him. I said, "Hey, come on, you got to go on video here and share some of your knowledge and expertise with me." So I'm going to let him introduce himself, and he's going to chat a little bit about the home inspection process and some things that we commonly see in the process. It's all yours, sir.
All right, thanks, Max. I'm Juan. I own a house on a rock home inspections. We're here doing a home inspection today, and some typical things that we're looking for. We went on the roof, inspected the shingles, we did the outside, did the siding, windows, doors, trim. We came inside, started in the kitchen, checked all the appliances, went to all the bathrooms, checked the sinks, tubs, showers, kind of worked our way around the house, checked all the lights, switches, receptacles, windows. We took the electrical panel cover off, checked all the wiring in there. They've got a boiler, so we're running that, making sure that works, making sure all the baseboard heaters get hot. It's functioning as the water heater, so we're making sure that that's heating up all the water in the house. We're in the basement now, and we're checking the foundation, the structure, the joists. There's a crawl space that adjoins it, so Joe's over there. He's crawling in there right now, checking the structure, insulation, ventilation, checking for termites and bugs and things like that. So that's kind of the gist of what we do.
All right, very good. And so when you're done, how is that information shared with the home buyer?
So while we're doing the inspection, we're taking all of our notes on a phone, and we're taking pictures with our phone, and then we use that to compile a report, which we'll then send to them a little later tonight, and it'll have all of our observations, all of our pictures, all of our recommendations, and it's usually about 30 pages with a summary at the end, so you can kind of see the big stuff.
Very good. One of the things I love about your reports, and all inspectors don't do this, photographs. You may or may not know, I'm a semi-pro photographer. And pictures are worth 1,000 words. Whenever there's an issue, a lot of times we refer back to those pictures because it'll show you exactly where the issue is, what's going on, and it's proof positive for the seller that, yeah, there really is an issue in your crawl space that you've never seen before.
Right. Yeah, we take a lot of pictures, maybe 50 pictures or so per report. Some of them show defects, some of them just show general things working, or general pictures of certain rooms. But yeah, we definitely include a lot of color photos so that you can see the defects and try to understand them a little better.
Awesome, awesome. So in addition to a regular home inspection, I know there's some additional inspections that you offer, and we're going to talk about one in particular, but tell us, other than radon and the traditional home inspection, what other inspections are there?
Well, there's a lot of inspections that you can get. Some that we do chimney inspections. So if you have a chimney, we'll put a camera up the flue so you can check out the condition of the flue. There are sewer scope inspections where we'll check the main drain line from the house to the street or from the house to the septic system to check for roots, damage, collapse, standing water, or blockages. There's mold testing that you can get done. If you live in an old house, you might want to get lead testing, or there's a lot of different inspections that you could get that aren't typically included in a home inspection.
Awesome. And the great thing about inspections, Juan, is that if something comes up in one of those inspections, then we typically raise the red flag and we ask the seller to go ahead and remedy those issues. They don't have to, but that's now another part of negotiation. And one of the things that I've said on many of my videos, and I say it over and over, and this is another example, is you don't know what you don't know.
Sure, yeah. A lot of the additional services that you can get are of things that you can't see with a normal visual inspection. Underground, in the air, just different areas that you wouldn't be able to see, and you just don't know what you don't know.
So speaking of air, we've got a contraption over here that obviously is doing something. Can you explain this to us?
Sure. So this is our radon testing machine. It's a continuous radon monitor. It will test the air every hour for the radon concentration in the air.
And what is radon?
Radon is an odorless odorless gas. You can't see it or smell it or sense it in any way, but it is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in America. And there are no visual indicators of whether or not you'll have high levels or low levels. There's nothing you can see or tell by the house other than just to test it with there are various different machines that you can use to test it.
Okay, very good. I've said on previous videos that radon is one of the things locally that flies under the radar. There are a lot of people that buy houses locally, and radon's never even mentioned. I make it a purposeful point to point out to all of my buyers, radon is something to consider as far as an inspection. So I'm glad to see that my current buyers are definitely getting that inspection. What happens if the levels come back elevated? What typically happens at that point?
So if the levels are elevated, you can mitigate the levels to get them lower. You can have a radon mitigation company come out, and typically it's called sub-slab depressurization. So since the radon comes from the ground, they're going to install a system that tries to grab that air from below the slab, from below this basement, and there's a fan connected to it, and it's going to pump that air out and above the roof line before it even gets into the house. And a properly installed system can typically get the levels below the EPA action limit, at least below 2, but a lot of times lower than that. And they generally run about $1,500, but of course it depends on the house, how big the house is, if it's finished or not in the basement, and there might be other things that complicate it that could make it cost more. But $1,500 is about an average cost to get it taken care of.
Okay, awesome. And once again, we typically go back to the seller and ask them to pay for that, and usually they do, because if a transaction falls apart because of elevated radon levels, then in Virginia they have to tell that to the next potential buyer.
Sure.
And of course they're going to face that issue once again. So that's a very, very good reason for a buyer to go ahead, have that test, and see what the results are. Make sure that they are protected with their family. I appreciate what you've done with taking time. I know time is money for you.
Sure.
But one more thing I wanted to ask you.
Absolutely.
Before we let you go. What separates House on a Rock from other inspectors that are out there? We weren't expecting that question.
I was not, but there are a couple things that separate us for sure. So one, there are actually 3 people here right now. There are 3 inspectors here, and there's me, there's Joe, and there's Kyle. And that it helps us get done quicker without compromising the inspection. And that's great for you. I know you want to be out there selling homes and doing your job. And the buyers, I'm sure they don't want to be here for 4 hours. So we will be out of here in about an hour and a half as opposed to the typical 3 hours.
Okay.
It also helps us get the reports out quicker. As one person's driving, the other person's writing the report. So
wow.
I know when you're having an inspection, there's a tight time frame. In the contract, they only give you a certain amount of days, but we're going to get you everything you need really quickly. Some other things that set us apart is, we walk on 90-95% of the roofs that we inspect. The industry standard is to inspect them from the ground with binoculars, but we always try to get on them, and for this house we definitely got on the roof. And like you said, we do offer a number of different services. We not only offer the home inspection, we do the radon test, we do the chimney inspections, we do the sewer scope, we can do mold testing. So we try to get it all done in-house so you can call less people and get it done for a little cheaper.
Awesome, awesome. So in the unlikely event that one of my viewers buys a house and I'm not their buyer's agent, how could they get in touch with you and get you to do their home inspection?
Sure. So our phone number is 804-269-4321. Right there.
Okay, we'll focus in on that for a second there.
Thanks.
Are you on the internet?
We are on the internet, ahouseonarock.com. You can schedule your inspections right from there if you'd like, or you can just email us at info@ahouseonarock.com.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time out to share with us. Normally I'm the one talking through the whole thing. Hopefully we won't get more likes on this one than we normally do. My feelings will be hurt. My people know I'm very sensitive about this stuff. So thanks again. We appreciate it and hope you have a wonderful day.
All right. Thanks.